Welcome acolytes. Today I'm reacting to a video from Asmongold. Yes, reacting to the reactor. He actually he got a video out named I got cancelled for the final time. And if you know the story of Asmongold, he most of the time, as he said himself, he didn't even know that he got cancelled before he actually heard it from someone else. So I don't think it works like most people think it works. So let's just see what he has to say about it. And by the way, if you like, kindly like, subscribe, leave a comment, press the notification button. You know the shebang by now. Let's just start this. This is just beautiful.
A lot of people are angry. Caseytron, a lot of you guys.
A lot of people on social media are angry. Who would have thought? Who would have guessed this miserable freaking existence would just charm people into being angry on social media? Who would think that? I mean, it's still as bad as the League of Legends or even Dota community, so who knows?
Guys probably don't know who that is. Most people don't. She used to be a streamer a long time ago, and ever since she fell off about 10 years ago, her entire existence on the internet has been dedicated to being hostile and negative about other people. And so she goes and she makes a tweet today about me. And
damn, this is actually quite sad, but I think it works if she does it for 10 years. I mean, for F's sake, how miserable do you have to actually be to spread misery for no reason? I mean, now I understand why, but I just don't want to accept it because I believe in humanity a bit more. But there are just some special, really special, like little people, just really, really special ones that just, yeah.
So she goes, she's like, Asmongold hates himself more than we ever could, just like his lifestyle. There's nothing to be said, disgusting man. They could ever make him change his filthy, putrid ways. Just a real stinker. Respond back. I say, you're fat and you spend your life smoking weed and doing drugs. If anyone's a stinker, it's you.
It's so banal. It's actually, and yeah, by the way, the lifestyle of Asmongold as he presents himself is actually disgusting. But if he likes it, not my problem.
That's true. And I'm not insulting her. It's just this is just an observation. She is fat. And if you're fat, you sweat more. And if you sweat more, you're going to smell bad more. Why is she even...
And it's true, by the way. Yes. Okay. And she's a smoker. And smoking is... Yeah, you stink if you smoke. Especially shortly after smoking. You may not freaking inhale, like... You may not notice it, but anyone that actually doesn't smoke or didn't smoke for a short period of time does, and it's just disgusting. But if you smoke, that's your, but just don't freaking insult my nose with it.
Attack you? Because her entire existence of the internet is built off of complaining and talking shit about other people. Nobody likes her, and so the only thing that she can do to make people like her is hopefully make people dislike somebody else more than they dislike her. XQC said money is financial freedom, freedom having the ability to choose what you want to do as much as possible. Why are you mad that he lives the way that he wants to? You have a lot of money too, yet you are overweight and choose to smoke weed all the time. Respect people's choices, lady. Caseytron has talked a lot of shit about me over the years. For a very, very long time, I've had the policy of not ever, like, responding back to people or saying things that are, like, mean back to people. We are getting rid of that policy. I'm bored of sitting here and being a punching bag, especially by clowns like this. An example of what Caseytron did is that back whenever Caseytron was not a completely irrelevant streamer, and she was using her cleavage on stream to attract views. This was in probably about 10 years ago. Guess what happened? Well, my ex-girlfriend Izzy, Pink Sparkles, came on, and everybody started watching her instead. Now, why did everybody start watching Pink Sparkles instead of Caseytron? I think everybody knows why. So Caseytron talked mad shit about it.
By the way, Pink Sparkles is a pretty woman, so Caseytron, well, yeah. Yeah.
Izzy constantly perpetuated a lie that she was a view botter and wouldn't back down on it for years until finally she got confronted recently and apologized in DMs to it to Izzy. This is like 2 years ago. The point is that I think Casey Tron is disgusting. She is a disgusting person. She fell off over 10 years ago, and the only relevance that she will ever have is being a bottom feeder and farming people that somehow hate another person more than they hate her. And to be honest, guys, I don't want to say anything more about it, because the truth is that at the end of the day, I'm still me and she's still her. And that's worse than anything that I could ever say.
Damn, he's savage today. What the F is going on here? Like, damn, Asmongold is really out for this girl. Well, I mean, I would say it's definitively something he should do. Because at one point, if it's like one comment or something, you can ignore that. But if it happens continually, yeah, you should punch back at one point. And I don't mean just punch back slightly. I mean punch back with freaking wrath. If it's anything like, just destroy the person if you can. Because at the end of the day, if you have to, just do it. If you can, of course, life is life. You won't be always actually able to get some justice in this. But if you can, just freaking bury your teeth in and go for it.
Casey Tron under fire for liking tweet blaming Asmongold's lifestyle for his mom's death. Here we go.
Damn.
So I guess this is today.
That tweet, it says, thankfully XQC's lifestyle hasn't led directly to the death of one of his parents yet, so he has that going for him over Asmon at least. I'll admit, I did like that tweet, and I have a lack of respect for Asmongold after letting his mom with COPD live in those sort of conditions. I'm sorry. Like, you're a millionaire, you have all of the resources in the world. Why is your sick mother living like that? Like, I'll say it, I don't care. If that makes me a bad person,
Okay.
Still miles above of Asmongold. Miles above Asmongold. I'm sorry. Like, I have literally a fraction of the income, and I take better care of my parents than that. And I don't have anywhere near close the resources that he does. I did like that.
Should take better care of yourself. And if that's the case. Now, I'm going to be honest. This doesn't really offend me. It doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't really offend me is because I know that she doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't really know what she's saying. She's just saying this because I have said something to be mean to her. This does not hurt my feelings. This doesn't, like, get me upset. It's malicious, though. It is malicious. She's a disgusting person, and she always will be. I don't like attacking people. I only respond to people who attack me. I don't go out of my way and go and personally insult people or anything like this, but if they do it to me, I will do it back. I do genuinely believe that bad things do happen to bad people. And so whenever I see somebody saying this, I think it's just a matter of time. And whenever it inevitably happens, I will be there to laugh. Call me out if I am attacking somebody who didn't attack me. But I don't think that's going to happen a whole lot, especially on a personal level. And also, by the way, obviously there was like a big conversation. And the reason why Casey Tron tweeted this out, there is a reason for it. Besides the fact that she probably needs impressions to make money. The other reason was because I had said on stream yesterday that I thought that standing in a road was not an effective way of protesting for Palestine. I thought this was counterproductive. I don't think it really helps anybody. Obviously, a lot of the Twitter revolutionaries love to, they love to act like, this is some big thing and they're, changing the world, etc.
Oh, come on. If you just sit on the road, like, this is so useless. The only thing you do with that is actually just annoy everyday people. And that's all that's happening there. I mean, protesting is one thing, but just sitting on the roads, for F's sake. And I'm gonna, I am really, really, really effing like baffled that there weren't more cases where people like this died. I am really baffled about that, because this has to be just so annoying, especially if you're driving out, you're in a freaking situation where you just have to get out, or let's just say your kid is sick and something like that, and then you see something like that. I would be furious. Like, I would just grab them so they go out of the way. And if this doesn't work, just full gas through. Because I'm honestly like, or at least if I actually could keep my mind together, because if child that I taking care of is in danger, then I'm really getting aggressive. Like, I would either, first I probably just go for the police and see if I can do something like that. But if that's not the case, then going full out, just going full berserk, because the life of those people isn't worth more than the life of those who I protect. And on the opposite side, it's the same. I wouldn't like instantly say that it's like worth instantly more. For me, yes, because that's the person that I actually like. So for me, yes, but not inherently. But still, it's just if you're harming a person I like, you're done for. I'm just gonna go full berserk. I do not even care about you. It's just done. It's just done. Or even someone else. Like, no, especially if it's something protecting, even like dogs or cats, like animals that are loyal. I despise. Like, I would. I'm not even sure. Like, I would be really mad about it. It's just...
So there we go. You are not protesting for Palestine by preventing a minimum wage worker from getting to work on time.
That's
get
correct,
out of the
yes.
road. That's what I said. And so obviously a lot of these people are, these are people who have no problems in life. These are people who live in first world countries, in the safest countries in the world, in the safest time in history, that are trying desperately to LARP as if they are anything even similar to the civil rights movement. You are not even 1% of what the civil rights movement was. You are standing in the street. You are harassing random people. You're not protesting injustice. You're protesting somebody going to McDonald's. Anytime that I see somebody do that, they don't actually believe that it's okay to break the law and protest. The only reason why they are saying it is because it's being said in a way, the protest is for something they agree with. They don't agree with the...
And by the way, I don't even think that it's like they have to, but they have a strong emotional reaction to it. And if you only act, like only basically just based on your emotions, you're gonna make mistakes like I did 5 seconds ago or a minute ago because of my argument. Because as I said, if I have to protect my family, like I get emotional really quick, and this is something I F me. Like I'm still happily never anything happened, especially because I could protect. But there's like there's just a part in me that just despises those things. If I like the person, and don't get me wrong, if I actually think that the person, I don't care if it's a family member or not, it just harms me in a way, then yeah, I'm gonna cut them off. Okay.
Principle. They just want to get what they want, and they don't care how it happens. It's not breaking the law. You think that standing in the middle of the street and obstructing traffic isn't breaking the law? Why don't you go out there and do it and see what happens? Go ahead, go find out. Fuck around and find out. And at the end of the day, I will support any time that the police come and remove these people and or arrest them. A lot of people say it's the most effective way of protesting. Is that false? Is it the most effective way of protesting? I think that it can be if the focus of the protest can be linked directly to what they're protesting for. So, for example, and I think that sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. This is an example of it completely not being it. So, for example, with a lot of civil rights protests, they were protesting directly the laws. So,
yes.
For example, it was like, you can't be at the front of the bus. So a person goes, like Rosa Parks sits at the front of the bus. It's not like people are just out there randomly causing riots and shit like that. Now, obviously that happened during civil rights, but I think the most powerful protests of civil rights, the ones that we remember, are the ones that were directly protesting the laws that they were protests for. And so, whenever you go and you stand in the road because of a war that's 6,000 miles away, and you block some random minimum wage worker from getting to work on time, and then you try to hijack that, you try to, kidnap their life because they don't have any empathy for your problem. Why the fuck would they have any empathy for your problems whenever you're the one who's ruining their life right now? They're trying to get to work. They can't get to work. They can't live their life. Why the fuck would they have any empathy for you? It doesn't even make sense. I have no problem with people protesting. And in fact, yesterday, and this is actually a pretty weird thing that's happened. I'll even say, this is going to really maybe upset people. But I'll say it right now. If I had to say which group I think is more wrong, I think Israel's more wrong. I'm more pro-Palestine than pro-Israel. That doesn't mean that Palestine hasn't done anything wrong, but I am. I just don't think you should stand in the road. No, that's true. Yeah, and I'm not saying, guys, this is not like a good guys and bad guys. I think they're both bad guys in a lot of ways. But especially, what do you call it? Like killing innocent people. I mean, there it is. I'm pro-America, fuck them both. Sure, yeah, I understand that. But there has been a lot of, there has been a lot of conversations about this. Pro-Hamas idiots at UT discover what happens when you try to pull Columbia in Texas. And this is our governor here, Texas, my governor. Arrests being raided right now will continue until the crowd disperses. These protesters belong in jail. Anti-Semitism will not be tolerated in Texas, period. Students joining hate-filled anti-Semitic protests at any public college or university in Texas should be expelled. So I completely disagree with the governor here. I think that whenever I look at a lot of the videos of the UT protests, I think everybody is behaving in a generally law-abiding manner. I completely support those protests, and I think that our governor is totally fucking off base. I think that this, how is this?
And I'm gonna be honest, like, I even agree with him. If you're actually law-abiding and don't disturb the thing in a way where it actually makes sense, like he said, it's totally fine. Like, I agree with him on 100% with this, especially here. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. It as it should be, but it's also like halfway peaceful. It's not that it's that bad.
It's not a First Amendment violation. And I understand some people might be getting a little bit of whiplash for this. They're like, oh, wait, I thought you said it's not, it's bad to protest. No. I support protesting. Absolutely. And as I said, I even support the majority of what this cause is for. Not all of it, but the majority of it. However, get out of the fucking road. Get out of the fucking road. Like, what are you doing? Is it possible a school doesn't want them to, so then they are trespassing? That's between the school and the government. And that doesn't have anything to do with them being protesters or not. Everybody has a right to decide why somebody is on their private property other than a discriminatory reason.
True words, yes.
So they have every right to make that decision. And imagine they're doing this to avoid having a school shut down like Columbia, though. People are paying money to attend their classes and learn. I don't think that they should try to shut down the school because that's infringing on other people's ability to go about their daily lives.
Yep.
I think that to the extent that people hijack something and then they say, basically, we are holding this hostage until you give us what we want. I feel like most people in the public at large doesn't respond well to a hostage situation. And at that point, like, Hamas or Israel is not the enemy, you are. You are the enemy right now. You are directly affecting negatively their life.
Yep.
So they're not going to be like, oh, wow, wait a second. These people are standing in the road. Holy shit, I hate Israel now. That's not happening. People see this, and if anything, it makes them fucking hate Palestine. Because every time they see Palestine, it's some dipshit that's standing in the middle of the fucking road.
True.
It's not even a question. It's so crazy and counterproductive, I don't even know what to say. And I think the reason why people do it is they think they have the moral authority to do so. And what I was trying to get at with posts like this...
Yes, and this is one of the freaking most baffling things for me. How the F you, like for the people that actually do this, how can you explain this? Like, that you yourself have the freaking right to actually just block everyone else from the day to day and take power over it just because you dislike something. You're not the freaking god of this place, world, or anything. You're not that important to actually block my life. Like this, or the day-to-day basis to do the things I actually do to survive. Like, F you for that.
Is that these people don't really believe this. Because if they actually believed it, you would see them probably exercising this same type of discretion about, for example, January 6th, or for the Canada truckers protests. But these were the same people that were celebrating, maybe not this guy specifically, I don't want to shit on this guy specifically, but these were the same people that wanted to have the January 6th protesters. And let's be honest, in a lot of cases, insurrectionists put in jail. These people have no principles, they have no morals, they have no ethics, and the only thing they care about is getting what they want. And the funny and ironic thing about that is that's the reason they never will. Because nobody respects that. That's not the way you can build any sort of sympathy. You can't get anybody to be on your side if you're constantly trying to harass and hurt them if they don't immediately bow.
Oh, you can until they give up. You can do that. But the difference between actually being respected and being feared is the following. If you're being respected, people actually generally want to do something good for you or with you, just have something done, some positive done. Because they know, okay, good, I respect this person actually gets the thing, he will get things done. If you're feared, yes, you also get things done, sometimes even quicker. But the first chance people get, most people will just freaking backstab you instantly. You will be like, as soon as you get any kind of way that you can get hurt, people will abuse it. And yes, it's for both sides that this can happen, but if you're feared, the chances of happening, specifically that, is way higher than if you're respected.
Down to you and your ideology and take it as seriously as you do. Point of a nonviolent protest is to showcase the violence of the state. I think there's a lot of instances and reasons for that. But I would argue that obstructing cars and stopping people from driving is violence in itself. It might not be direct physical violence, but it is a violent action as you are obscuring somebody's, obstructing somebody's ability to move around. Hell no. Tell that to MLK.
I don't even know what MLK is.
Okay. I saw a quote today. Let's see. I'll go ahead and I'll show you. Also, by the way, you're not Martin Luther King for standing in the road. Okay? You're never going to be. They're not going to write about this in the history books of, oh, wow, these brave students decided to stand in the middle of the road and they saved everybody. It's not going to be remembered. Nobody's going to care. But let's talk about Martin Luther King. I saw this on Twitter. I thought it was interesting. An organizer with King's Southern Christian Leadership Conference declared, "We will tie up public transportation by laying our bodies prostrate on the runways of airports across railroad tracks and bus depots. This degree of disorder was too much even for King, who walked back the staffer's comments." Wow. So yeah, let's listen to Martin Luther King. Great idea. This King actually wanted change, not to become a spectacle. Absolutely. And that's why he got it. That's why history will remember him. People have a weird perception of him. Okay, you outgotched him. Yes, I know. And this is the lack of education that the people that are doing this have. They don't really know what they're talking about. They're not actually educated in any of the topics that they believe in. They just feel a certain way, and then they work backwards to justify it. Why are people so emotionally invested in a situation topic? People are emotionally invested into it because everybody is on edge, because they're fed a constant, ever-increasing, higher pitched of emotionally driven news media in every single outlet they are, subscribing to. They go on Twitter, and it's emotionally charged political social rhetoric. They go on Reddit, it's emotionally charged political social rhetoric. You go on Twitch, look at me. You go on YouTube, same thing. And so people have done this to themselves. Thoughts on the UT Austin stuff? Yeah, sure. I completely support their right to protest. I think that they are protesting UT giving money or having some sort of investment in Israel. I think that it's totally fair for them to protest that, and they have every right to do that because of the First Amendment. Now, I don't really know enough about it to really think that I agree with it or not. And that's why I'm not really talking a lot about the specific UT thing, because I'm not sure what their actual specific problem that they have is. I haven't really looked into it, to be honest. But what I do know is that I don't see anybody really committing crime, and the instances of police officers, escorting people out who have committed crimes seem to be relatively respectful, and, there's not any real violence. It's happening on multiple campuses now? Well, if it's happening on multiple campuses, then that's totally fine, because that's their right to protest if the school allows it. I learned a long time ago I can barely make a change in my own country. Sadly, trying to do so in another is like pissing in the wind. Well, I think that really people should vote, and I wish that this is the problem, right? Is that we live in America, and I understand that people think that all the elections here are rigged and there's no point in voting. But imagine going and telling that to somebody who's in China, or telling that to somebody who's in Russia or North Korea. The truth is that we have such a tremendous and amazing privilege here in the U.S.
Yes, not just in the U.S., also other, we in Europe too, but most people are just so freaking... I don't even know why. I mean, you still can have a change, but a change won't happen just like that, and you also have to actually hear other people out and not just vote the same thing you voted for 5 years. Maybe sometimes the thing you voted for at first just isn't the thing you support now, or they change so much that you just, they're bullshitting right now, and they are just, basically scam. So just, you have to change sometimes. So, just,
and in a lot of Western countries, to actually be able to decide who represents us. And the sooner that people know that, the sooner that I think that we'll have people that better represent us, which is why I believe all of the mainstream media that's owned by people who own the people that are in charge of the government are trying their absolute best to create a dichotomy between two people like Trump or Biden, instead of actually providing real candidates with real solutions. Correct. I don't think that's happened. I think it's intentional.
Yes, it is.
Voting should be mandatory? Works. Absolutely not. If somebody doesn't know what they're doing with the vote, I don't want them to vote. Why would you want somebody to vote? If they don't know what they're talking about, and they're not, if they don't care about voting, why would you want them to vote? That doesn't even make sense. What? Like, they'll just go in there and click random things. Mandatory voting has none of the above option on there? Yeah. Maybe that would be okay then. Yeah, maybe that would be okay. Different countries try.
I talked about this with someone else not too long ago, so instead, like, that's just my brain just being like, yep, I already had that thought. Okay, sorry.
Charge a fee for not voting? Yeah. As long as you don't have to vote for somebody, I think it's okay. Yeah, I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. I just don't think you have to. You should be forced into like one decision or another, right? But yeah, a lot of people have been upset about my take on this. And again, the reason why they're upset about it is because it's not happening to them.
Yeah.
These are, again, people that want to co-opt your empathy and use it against you. And the moment you expect them to have any empathy for you, you are now a alt-right. You are now a white supremacist. You are now a fascist. You're now, you know, a Zionist.
You're the bad guy, basically.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I do want to let you guys know, and I know a lot of you guys are expected to stream it. Yeah, yeah. There's another one right there.
Okay, sorry for that. I had to get really, really calm about now because this I just laughed for about 3 minutes. This was, and it's still, woo.
Crying about it on Twitter isn't going to make it any less true. You can make as many negative tweets and get mad at me for saying something. You do that as much as you want. I'm still going to say it. And so, yes, there have been a lot of people on Twitter canceling me, getting mad at me for this kind of stuff. And as I said, it's quite sad to see, because the truth is that I agree with them. I am also more pro-Palestine than Israel. I don't want to send Israel a fucking dime. I don't give a shit about them. They're on the other side of the world. I don't want to take our money. Like, what are we doing here? We take people's money through threat of force with taxes, and we send it over to some other fucking country in the Middle East? No, I don't want to do that. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Fuck off. You pay less because of it? If there is an argument that it is in our benefit to help Israel, it is in the benefit to America, I am open to hearing that argument, and I am willing to be convinced. But from everything that I have seen, I don't want to offer or help them at all beyond that that extension.
Yeah, and
his games ever made.
I'm gonna be honest, and the entire thing also makes sense because it may be also a selfish thing, but like, come on, you have to always look out for number. Like, first of all, look out for yourself. That's the first thing. But second of all, if you actually look for yourself and you build up, and it's fine, and you can actually help other people way more effective. It's just way better for everyone, basically, or at least that's my opinion. Help yourself first before you help other people. And I mean it in the best, like, yeah, in the best way. I just, and I'm not even saying that you should like help and just freaking go out and harm people on purpose. No, because that then actually hurts yourself. Also, that hurts yourself over a longer period of time. You and your family, by the way. So that's something I really, yeah, I would really say, like, don't do. But I don't know. Like, okay. But as it is, acolytes, I hope you had fun with this one. And good night.